Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Srimad Hanumad Bhim Madhvantargata Ramakrishna Vedavyasatmaka Lakshmi Hayagrivaya Namaha. Namaskara to all. So we are discussing on the topic Vedas and unbiased view. This is the second part of that. My name is Srinivasan Pranesh. Before getting into today's part, few of our friends asked that this is a series of discourse. In the series of discourse, at what frequency every part will be posted. So as of now, I am planning to post one part on YouTube every Saturday. I will record those as time permits. I will make it a habit to post it once every Saturday. So before getting into second part, let us quickly have a recap of the first part. So we have taken the topic unbiased view on the Vedas. We are discussing the purity and authority of the Vedas in it without any bias. I already said that unbiased means it is the unbiased view of our acharyas who have given several granthas with respect to the Vedas. Nowadays, Vedas are often criticized, but these criticisms are not new to us because even during ancient times we had the criticisms. As told already in the first part, 9 philosophies originated in India, and every philosophy has got its sub philosophies or the branches. So everybody has got a debate with each other. There are philosophies who don't believe in Vedas, like Charuvakas, who are materialists, Buddhists, Jains, all those people don't believe in Vedas. So they already criticized the authority of Vedas. Even under the theist philosophies, some philosophies opine that Vedas are not eternal and are authored. Such philosophies, though they believe in Vedas, criticized the eternity of the Vedas. So Vedas had been criticized, or the philosophies that follow the Vedas as eternal had been criticized by several philosophies. So all questions and debates from those philosophies had been entertained by Sri Madhvacharya and his followers and are all convincingly answered. In first part, we raised a question ourselves on why Vedas? Because there are other sources of knowledge. We directly perceive so many things and attain knowledge. Our elders teach us so many things and give us knowledge. We have inference supported by direct perception. In such a situation, are Vedas really necessary? So this was the question we raised ourselves in part 1. And I told, to understand this, we need to have the knowledge of Pramanas or epistemology as called by the Western world. So in support of this, we also went through one Bhagavad Gita shloka where Krishna says the true words, that is the truth, in line with the Pramanas, are one only. But the lies means the untrue words that are not analyzed or in line with the Pramanas are infinite in numbers. There are several branches. So we saw that Krishna told Arjuna that Arjuna shall believe in his words because his words are true and in line with Pramanas. So from this second part, for the new few portions that are going to come next, so we will be going through the epistemology subject, that is the Pramanas. So with that recap, let us get into part 2 now. So to understand Pramanas, I will take help of a grantha named Pramana Paddhati that was composed by Sri Jayatirtharu, popularly known as Sri Tikacharya, because he wrote Tika for many Mula Granthas of Sri Madhvacharya, Sarva Mula Granthas. So he belonged to the 14th century. Now we are going to take support from Pramana Paddhati to understand Pramanas. So if you search in Google about epistemology, when it started in other parts of the world, so Google never speaks about India and its knowledge. Mostly it speaks keeping the Western world in the mind. So the Google will say epistemology started developing in Greek. So for them, the philosophers or people like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. So most of these belonged to the period of 300 BC. It's 300 years before Christ. So now it is 2026, so 2300 years back. So that is when the Western world started speaking about the Pramanas, at least they started speaking about the Pramanas. And then there are a lot of developments in it from the Western side. But in India, though we take support of Pramana Paddhati that has been composed in the 14th century, a grantha named Pramana Lakshana has been authored by Sri Madhvacharya, Srimad Acharyaru himself, tentatively 1000 years back. Even before that, during Vedavyasa Deva's period, as we all know, Vedavyasa Deva is an incarnation of Sri Mahavishnu. So during his period, the epistemology was spoken. So we already went through one Bhagavad Gita shloka. In Brahma Sutras, Sri Vedavyasa Deva speaks about the Pramanas, the epistemology. When he says Shastras are the only means to know the God, and it is not possible through direct perception or inference. That is in the third sutra of Brahma Sutra. So Pramanas are spoken in Bhagavad Gita, that means Mahabharata, Brahma Sutras. We all know that Mahabharata happened 5000 plus years ago. That means earlier to 3000 BC. So the Greeks, the Western world started speaking about epistemology during 300 BC, whereas we can find reference in Indian texts and literatures to epistemology even before 3000 BC. And Vedavyasa Deva's disciple, Sri Jaimini, he gave Purva Mimamsa Sutras, and we have oldest schools like Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Samkhya. All of them spoke about epistemology. Of course, they all had debates among themselves. Sri Madhvacharya gave utmost clarity in line with Vedavyasa that has been spoken before 3000 BC, means 5000 years ago, 5000 or even earlier. But the subject epistemology is not new to India. So if you ask, is that all? Means, does India know about epistemology only 5000 years back? Then the answer is no. Epistemology had been a topic of discussion in India even before that. The Vedas themselves speak about epistemology. Vedas are eternal. It is not authored, it is eternal. So the oldest ones that are existing from time immemorial, they are eternal and they are never destructed. They remain forever. So even in Vedas, in for example, Taittiriya Shruti, which belongs to Krishna Yajurveda, Katha Shruti or Kataka, everywhere there is mention about these Pramanas. Sri Madhvacharya quotes such things from Taittiriya Shruti, Katha Shruti, everything in his Grantha named Vishnu Tattva Vinirnaya, where he speaks about eternity and the glory of Vedas. One may ask, how do you say Vedas are eternal? That we are going to speak as we progress further. Once we finish this brief on Pramanas, when we get into the glory of Vedas, we will be discussing about the eternity of Vedas along with the logical debates in favor of that. So, what I am trying to say now is the Western world, even if you consider the Greek knowledge is the oldest, so that dates back to 300 BC, whereas Indians know about these Pramanas and epistemology for the past crores and crores of years. It is mentioned in the eternal Vedas. Those were grasped several crore years before ago by the Indian sages called Mantra Drishta, who grasped the Veda mantras from the sky and gave it to us. So I am really proud to say that the Indians are pioneers and the leaders of the world. So when the Western world was busy, or why Western world? We will say all other parts of the world other than India were busy in hunting, eating, and surviving. So we Indians spoke very big subjects like epistemology, Vedas, science, technology. So we really have to feel proud of ourselves. Sadly, during the invasions, the people of India were made to feel inferior, and they were put into the illusion that the Western world is superior to India in knowledge. If any of you still have such thought, please come out of that. We have all literary evidences that we were the leaders of the world. So please feel proud about this and read with interest. We have to bring back the lost knowledge, which will be useful for the self as well as the country. So one may ask, you are saying the epistemology subject is being discussed in India since time immemorial. Then why you have chosen a 14th century subject, Pramana Paddhati, to discuss about the Pramanas? It is always good to take the recent one because that is what fits the novice, the people, those who have just begun or started to learn the Shastras. In the same Pramana Paddhati, we can see that Sri Tikacharya, Sri Jayatirtha, speaks about Pramana Lakshana, the Grantha given by Sri Madhvacharya even before him. But he says, he agrees. He says, yes, we have a Grantha named Pramana Lakshana given by Sri Madhvacharya himself. Then there will be a question, right? Okay, you also belong to the same philosophy. Your Sri Madhvacharya has already given Pramana Lakshana. Then why do you write a separate work named Pramana Paddhati? So objections arise that Pramana Paddhati is a duplication and is useless. So Sri Tikacharya, Sri Jayatirtharu have to justify that his work is still worth, and he has to give the reasons for it. Because see, nowadays people listen to anything, read any book, whether the book has a good subject or not, whether it is fruitful or not. If that gives a good entertainment, so people start reading the books. But in olden days, it is not like that. If you have to release any grantha, then that has to satisfy certain conditions. Otherwise, it will be rejected by the learned people. Those conditions are called Anubandha Chatushtaya. Means there are four things. First one is Adhikari. Means the person who will be benefited from that. He is Adhikari. Second one is Vishaya. Vishaya means the book should have subject matter that will be useful to the Adhikari. Means who reads it. And the third one is Sambandha. Means the relation between the student who pick up the work and the subject matter. Say for example, if I go to a chemist and I give him a book authored by myself on biology, and what is the use? There should be some connection between the person who is going to read it and the subject matter in the text. So that is Sambandha. And the fourth one is Prayojana. Prayojana means purpose or benefit. So this work, Pramana Paddhati, has got everything, because Sri Tikacharyaru says, yes, I agree that Sri Madhvacharya himself has given works like Pramana Lakshana already, which speaks about the Pramanas. Yet, that work given by Sri Madhvacharya has got very deep secret meanings in it, in such a way that only the Pandits, that is very, very highly learned, can decode it. And when we try to make connection between two statements that is so advanced and not within the graspable limit of novice, that is the beginners. So, considering the benefit of the beginners, the novice, this work named Pramana Paddhati is done. So that way, Sri Jayatirtharu, he justifies the purpose, the use of this work named Pramana Paddhati. So there is Adhikari, who is a novice, an eligible candidate, but a beginner as far as Shastric learning is considered. Shastric learning is concerned. And Vishaya, the subject matter, which is the Pramanas. Sambandha, there is a connection between the learner and the subject matter. And Prayojana. Prayojana is the purpose or benefit. So it benefits the novice. So having said that this work is for the novice, and this discourse is also for common public who are mostly beginners, and I'm also a beginner myself. So it is always appropriate and good that we select the recent text, Pramana Paddhati of 14th century, made by Sri Jayatirtharu, for the subject discussion. So with that understanding, let us get into the discussion about Pramanas with respect to Pramana Paddhati, means with taking the help of Pramana Paddhati. So now we discussed about true knowledge. About what? About the object of knowledge, right? Say for example, you want to attain the knowledge of God, then God is the object of knowledge. If we want to attain knowledge about a table, then table is the object of knowledge. if we want to attain knowledge about pot, then pot is the object of knowledge. So our goal, whatever goal it is, whatever knowledge we have to attain about some object, that becomes our object of knowledge, and we have to get true knowledge about that, right? So that is why we have pramanas. So now, how to get true knowledge about something? If we have to get true knowledge about something, we have to first define it, right? We have to give the definition. So how do we define something? It is through the specifications, like maybe the attributes or functions of that object of knowledge. Say, for example, if we ask somebody, define table, then we will define the table by its specifications, right? Like it is made of so and so wood, it has got so and so shape. Likewise, if we ask somebody to define a potter, then we define by the function. They say that is the person who makes pot, and so on. So when you define something, the definition has to be based on certain attributes and specifications. So now, what is the definition of definition? See, we very easily say define a table, define a pot, define God. So it is easy to use the word define. But what does it really mean? What is the definition of definition? We need to have highest clarity in that first. For example, let us take an elephant. So we have to define the elephant. The elephant becomes the object of knowledge here. So if we ask somebody to define elephant, they may say that is an animal. An animal that has got 4 legs, an animal that has got 2 eyes, an animal that has got tall body, an animal that is gray or blackish in color. So if we say so, then these are not the definitions. You may ask, so what is wrong with it? Yes, elephant has got 4 legs, elephant has got 2 eyes. So the definition is right only. No, what is the problem with this? If somebody questions this way, then 4 legs, 2 eyes, such things does not become the definition of elephant, because even other animals has got 4 legs, 2 eyes. Even cows have got 4 legs. Even cows have got 2 eyes. We can find gray color, black color cows as well. Camel has got tall body. So how do you differentiate the elephant from the rest, like the cow, camel, and other animals? Definition has to be very unique, and it is not based on the common attribute, because there is no accuracy if you pick the common attributes. So now think about one unique attribute in an elephant. So can we say trunk of the elephant? So trunk is not present in cows, camel, dogs. It is found only in the elephant group. So this attribute can make the definition of an elephant. You can say an animal that has got a trunk is called elephant. So from this, what do we understand? The definition is made based on attributes of the object of knowledge. And this definition has to be very unique, that is present only in the object of knowledge. That is our goal, and not present in anything else. So that much clarity we can get from this. Now, somebody is going to a village and they have to find which is Devadatta's house. So if somebody calls Devadatta and asks, hey Devadatta, what is your What is the lakshana of your home? How can I find your home? Give me some signs. So if Devadatta says, look for a home on the roof where a crow is sitting. So is this the right lakshana, right definition? The crow may fly anytime. So then how can the home be identified? So one of my friends was giving way to a postman. The postman called him and asked how to get to his home. He was somewhere nearby. And my friend said, please proceed straight from where you are, take a right, last right, and again left, where you can find a cow is standing. So how can this be accurate? There may be cows standing near other turnings as well. Or by the time the postman reaches the turn, the left turn, the cow that is grazing there may move from there. So these are all variables, right? So definition cannot be made with variables. So the attribute that we use for the definition should be unique to that object of knowledge, not present in any other objects out of that category, and should be invariably present in that object of knowledge at all times. That gives the definition. So instead of saying, look for a crow on the roof of a house, if somebody says there is a flag hoisted on a house forever, and that is Devadatta's house, then it will be easy to identify Devadatta's house. So the attribute, the specification should be unique, present invariably at all times in the object of knowledge that is defined, and should not be found in anything else out of this object of knowledge. So if you take trunk, trunk is an unique attribute for the elephant that is always present with the elephant and not found in any other groups like dogs, camels, deers, and so on. It is found only in elephants. So that becomes the definition of an elephant. So hope we now understand what is definition of a definition. An unique attribute invariably present at all times and not present in the others. So that is called a definition. And this definition in Sanskrit is called lakshana. So with this understanding, Sri Tikacharyaru, Sri Jayatirtharu says in Pramana Paddhati that Yo dharmo lakshye vyaptya vartate na vartate cha anyatra sadharmo lakshanam ityuchyate. Here, dharma doesn't mean righteousness here. Dharma means attribute. And lakshya means our goal. That is the object of knowledge. And lakshana means the unique attribute which becomes the definition of that lakshya. So we have to remember these three terms: dharma, lakshana, lakshya. So dharma means attribute. In general, all attributes that the object of knowledge possesses. Lakshya means our object of knowledge. That is our goal. The thing about which we are desiring to earn knowledge. Lakshana is its definition. Lakshana means the unique attribute among the attributes, among several dharma. This is the unique attribute that is invariably present at all times and not found in anything else out of the object of knowledge. So this is how Sri Tikacharyaru defines the definition. Lakshana. Lakshana means definition. So definition of a definition. Just see the amount of knowledge that he is pouring to the novice Nobody will teach like this. And we can understand what the level of knowledge that was present in India. This Grantha is dated back to 700 plus years, right? And as I told, Pramanas are being spoken in India since time immemorial. So we should feel sad that we lost those knowledge because of the invasions. So we shall not listen to the haters of Sanatana Dharma who continuously spread hatred on Sanatana Dharma and people who follow those, and always pass criticisms on works like Vedas. So let us focus on the knowledge going forward and read such scriptures. Thereby we can bring back the lost knowledge. Okay. So now Tikacharyaru himself gives example for Lakshana. He says, Yata Goho Sasnadi Matvam. So Sasnadi means the dewlap found in the cows. Go means cow. So in the cows, we find the dewlap, right? The extra portion of the thick skin that is found in the neck region. That is very unique to the cows, invariably present in all cows. Means if you take the cow category, the cow group, it is present in all cows at all times and not found in any other animal other than the cows. We can see that the develop is not developed to this extent in any other animal, and it is very obviously seen in case of the cows. So taddi goshu sarvatra asti na asti cha agoshu. That means all cows invariably has got this dewlap. Agoshu means other than cow. Whatever animal we have other than cow, there these are not found. So this dewlap becomes the lakshana or definition of a cow. And then he says, Anyata bhutantu alakshanam. So whatever has been defined so far as lakshana, that alone is the lakshana. So lakshana means, let me repeat, a unique attribute that is invariably present in the object of knowledge at all times and not found anywhere else out of the object of knowledge, means in other objects out of our goal. So such is called lakshana, and rest all are alakshana. Alakshana means those are not proper definitions. So these alakshana are of three types. The first one is asambhavi. Asambhavi means which is never present. Tikacharyaru himself gives example for each and everything for our understanding, because he already declared that this work is for novice. So a lot of examples are required to make us understand. So he says, if we define a cow as one-hoofed animal, so you might have seen the hoofs on the legs of animals. We call it kulambu in Tamil, kal kulambu in Tamil. So hoof means we all know. Cows never have one hoof. Horses may have, but cows always have got two hoofs. So if we define a cow as an animal having single hoof, then that is improbable, that is not present at all. That is never present in cows. So such a thing, alakshana, is called asambhavi, and this cannot be categorized as a definition at all. It is an obvious case. The second one is avyapaka. Avyapaka means under pervasive. That means which is the attribute which is present in the object of knowledge at some instances and not present at some instances. For example, if we take the color of cow, so if we say multicolored cow, for example, there are also single colored cows. Some cows may be white, some cows may be black, some cows may be brown. We have seen a combination of black and white cow. So, if we proceed to define a cow by its color, then the same color is present in some cows and not present in some cows. So, this becomes under pervasive definition, which in Sanskrit is called avyapaka. And the third type of alakshana is ativyapaka. Ativyapaka means over pervasive or over defined. For example, if we say cow is an animal that has got two horns, it is present in cows. No definition, no doubt about that, but it does not become the definition because such horns are also found in deers, goats, and so many animals other than cows. So this is over pervasive, which is called ativyapaka. So asambhavi, improbable one, improbable. Then ativyapaka, avyapaka, which is under pervasive, and ativyapaka, which is over pervasive. All these does not come under the definition at all. Hence, these are not called lakshana. These are called alakshana. So what do we understand from this? So to attain true knowledge about an object, we have to first define that. Definition is done using the specifications of the object, maybe its attributes, function. There may be several attributes which is present in the object of knowledge as well as in other objects, in other goals. So that attribute which we pick for defining the object of knowledge has to be unique, invariably present at all times, and not found in any other object. So the definition has to be very exact and accurate for the true knowledge. That much we can understand up to here, right? So now, what is the use of this lakshana jnana? We have spoken so many things about lakshana. See, basically, pramana paddhati lays a procedure. Pramana gives us methodology or procedures on how to attain true knowledge. These are like mathematical formulations. So this subject may look a look a little dry. I'm sorry, look a little dry, and maybe difficult to grasp. However, once these pramanas are understood clearly, then it becomes very easy to discuss further about the Vedas. So I request you all to kindly bear with me and pay attention. If required, please listen this twice or thrice. And definitely we can understand. It is not something that we cannot understand. It is easy only. Maybe little dry. Having spoken so much about the Lakshana, what is the use of this Lakshana Jnana? Knowledge of Lakshana, knowledge of a definition. So this helps to differentiate the object of knowledge from the other objects, and it helps us to identify what is sajati and what is vijati. The moment we say jati, in India, everybody goes to the caste system. The jati actually means group. Sajati means same group. Vijati means different group. That's it. So if we take one elephant, another elephant is its sajati. Means it belongs to the same elephant group. But the one that is not an elephant, like a deer or cow or something, that is vijati. That's it. So this lakshana jnana helps us to segregate between the sajati and vijati. It helps us to differentiate the object of knowledge from the rest. And lakshya, that is the goal or the object of knowledge, as we went through. So lakshya is the object which is to be differentiated from the rest and collectively represented by a single word. Say, for example, cow is our lakshya. The moment you say cow, so people immediately get into memory all the features of the cow. That includes the Sasnadimatva. That is the dewlap. Similarly, whenever you see such a dewlap, we understand that animal is a cow. So it helps us to collectively represent in a single word. That is what it is told. So now, having gone through the Lakshana, that is the definition, our actual subject is Pramana, right? So now we have to define Pramana. So, but that means we have to give the Pramana Lakshana, right? So Sri Tikacharyaru says Samanya Lakshana, that is the general definition of the Pramanas as Yatartham Pramanam. So Yatartham means we have two words, two sounds in that. Yata, Artha. Yata means as it is, not more, not less, exactly as it is. That means it represents the exactitude, it represents the accuracy of the object of knowledge. And Artha means the object of knowledge. So, Pramana, by saying Pramana means, that is the definition of Pramana is Yatartham Pramanam. That means the accurate or the exact knowledge about the goal or the object of knowledge. So let us stop here with this understanding of the definition of Pramana. Let us further get into the discussions of Pramana in the next part also, for the next few parts. And then once we discuss about Vedas as Pramana, further we can get into the glory of the Vedas and Vedas as authority, the eternity of Vedas, and so on. So let this part be concluded with this. Thank you all. Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.